Sunday night, I'll be eating tapas and doing Macarena.
If you've got somebody on ropes, you knock them out.
PP and Deborah are naturists. Pitch the tent, put the pegs in, we're camping.
Nicola is making moves to have your heart, pal.
Now I'm not some Wally in a brolly. Rain on me. To the Meadowhall Premier League.
This episode may contain strong language and themes of an animal nature.
Hello and welcome to this latest World Cup special episode of Games Gone, the Steve Bracknall podcast. My name is Paul Sampson, local entrepreneur in the electrical field, professional sports broadcaster and first team manager of the Royal Oak FC in Sheffield.
My name's Steve Bracknell, assistant manager at Royal Oak FC from a very sombre Atlanta.
Bob the Bucket, physio, in front room.
You are joining us the morning after the night before where England lost the World Cup semi-final by 2-1 against Lionel Messi's Argentina. All right, boys, you sound a little bit down at mouth. You've got to be philosophical. It is what it is. That's football. You know how it is. Steve, you look absolutely crestfallen. You all right?
I thought it were destiny. I had a moment on Brooklyn Bridge 2 weeks ago when I said everything's been leading to New York and it's been snatched away from me, and now I've got to come home and face music, lads.
Did you cry?
No, felt disappointed more than the need for crying. I felt very disappointed. I could have took it if we'd have handed the game to him and served it up to him, had a sparred off. I could have accepted it, but our game unfolded has left a very sour taste in me gob.
Bob, do you think Thomas Tuchel's tactics are to blame?
I'm angry. Them lads, they run their blood to water and they were let down with coach. He let them down. You know, in boxing, if you've got somebody on ropes, you knock them out. Otherwise, they're going to knock you out. We had him on ropes. He'd found the key to the lock and then he took that key away and he brought all the... I apologised to him about Mexico game, how he brought his defensive subs on and it worked for us. But you can't be a one-trick pony. Their forwards are far better than Mexico's, and he handed it them on a plate. And for me, he should go.
I've got to be... Well, I'm not sure about that, Bob.
Well, I am. I've never been as positive about out in my life. He should go. He gave him that game.
It were like he got possessed by the spirit of Gareth Southgate all of a sudden. And
What's changed? Italy against us in European final. We go 1-0 up and we get them. And we've done exactly the same again. And it ain't the player's fault, it's the coach's fault.
Exactly. You know what it's like. Well, lads, how long have we been in game now? 20, 30 years?
I've played competitive and been involved in competitive football since the age of 11. So, all right, I haven't done it professionally, I don't like that. But I've seen enough games. I know what happens in football games. And my opinions is as good as anybody else's. And he blew it for us.
It don't matter. It does, and they laughed at us. They've laughed at us all along.
Yep.
There is no difference between being away at Bluebell or in the semi-final of the World Cup in Atlanta. There is no difference.
Respectfully, Steve, there's about as much difference as it's possible. There
isn't, Paul. This is where you're wrong. At the end of the day, 11 blokes are 11 blokes.
Yep.
If you go 1-0 up at Bluebell, and we have done in past,
yep.
We went 2-0 up in 2015. In 2000,
don't, because I'm still salty. I'm still salty about your pressure arms in me in that game.
No, listen, we didn't
put
go
pressure
bring
on me in that
What
game,
did we do? What did we do? We brought Scott Smith on, who was a winger. I didn't pressure you, Paul. It's the same concept.
What it's to do is ball retention. Listen to this for a stat. In the 37 minutes between Anthony Gordon's goal and Lautaro Martinez's winner, England had 12% ball possession.
I don't give monkeys about them.
We will do if you sat on goal line.
My point being,
ring of roses at one, mate.
My point being, you've got players like Kobbie Mainoo who didn't get a minute, whose main skill is possession in tight areas, holding on to the ball. We seemed unable, for some reason, to get out. And the other thing I think is, Harry Kane, why not have Ollie Watkins running it to corner?
Stretch him. I agree with that
exactly.
One. Stretch him.
Both
centre-backs were on yellow cards.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
Well, him being clever after the fact, because I said it against Mexico. Sorry, Thomas, I got it wrong, you got it right. But
he had 10 men in Mexico, Bob.
Correct, and their forwards aren't as good.
10 men against Bluebell.
Yep.
No doubt. Let's camp
Correct.
in there. pitch the tent, put the pegs in, we're camping, sleeping bags, job lot.
Yeah.
But not against 11 men Argentina. You've got to go and get them again. And again, and again.
So come on then,
fucking think. Sorry for swearing.
Come on, Steve.
Passionate.
Tell us about being in that stadium. What was that atmosphere like?
There were nerves. It's a massive game. There were nerves. England fans were outnumbered, no doubt.
Yeah.
But then, atmosphere inside were unbelievable. I'm not going to get into Argentinian fans. Found them very aggressive, to be honest, and they're absolutely having a pile on my social media, and I'm not going to react. Last thing I need is enemies in South America. I've made friends during this tournament. I'm not willing to make enemies.
No.
But very intense fan base. Let's just leave it at that. That's all I'm saying. But I got me sent out of there. I didn't want to hang around. When I think about Royal Oak, my safety, I got out final whistle when I knew they weren't going to play Wonderwall, which has been my favourite part of the tournament. So I got me sent out at stadium, flagged taxi company, won't name them because BBC will have fit, and got home.
Well, I don't think it were all doom and gloom. I thought there were some bright spots. I thought Elliot Anderson, Jed Spence, Anthony Gordon.
Great player.
All had good games. I think Jed Spence, actually, man of the match for me.
He's been unsung hero at tournament, Jed. Yeah. I think fans have took him to their heart because he got a race slagging when he got called up.
Yeah. And Steve, I'm assuming, Bob, you're not now flying to America this week?
I weren't anyway. I were taking flights. Well, £2,500 to get to New York.
All that. Well, Steve, are you coming home or are you staying out for the third, fourth playoff?
Well, third and fourth playoff. Do you think someone like Steve Bracknall would go to a third and fourth playoff? They need to get rid of it.
Talking about himself in third person again, Bob. He's gone. You've lost his head.
Listen, I've got to come home and face music. And Nikki,
divorce courts. Divorce
You can't
courts.
go to Miami with that girl there with bikini top on your shoulders. Not a
Why are you bringing it
chance.
up again, Bob?
Because you've brought Miami up. Do not go there.
He's going to be cited in divorce courts.
From Atlanta tomorrow night via Slovakia, via Kazakhstan, via Ukraine, which lands in fucking
I've supported
Berlin.
all them, by the way.
I know. Basically, I've got to go via every country Bob's fucking supported to get home to our Nikki.
Are you still in doghouse, Steve?
I don't know. Don't know what reaction I'm going to get when I knock on the door.
Why is she not answering your texts?
Sparsely.
Bobby, I don't know what you think to this, but the third, fourth playoff match is now being coined by FIFA as the bronze final.
Absolute waste of time. Just bring them home. Bring our lads home. Get them home.
Oh, dear me. Well, listen, before that, we do have the small issue of a World Cup final. I think it's going to be a great occasion. There is obviously the legendary Lionel Messi in a second successive World Cup final against Spain and Lamine Yamal. Now, you will have seen the photos of Messi and Yamal when Yamal was a child, and now they're playing against each other in a World Cup final. Spain, obviously, grown into the tournament. Rodri and Fabio Ruiz, particularly impressive. Fabio Ruiz has played 49 times for Spain and never lost. Who's going to win it, boys?
Spain.
I've got to say, it's very important as a BBC employee to remain neutral. But all I'm saying is on Sunday night, I'll be eating fucking tapas and doing Macarena before fucking kick-off. Come on, Spain. Serve it up. I'm fed up at tourist FC Argentina. The amount of tourism that Messi brings into a stadium, I am absolutely mauled out of my head on Sunday.
Deborah and I enjoyed a lovely tour of South America in 2015. We went to Iguazu Falls, went to Buenos Aires, enjoyed doing the tango, went to Boca, went to River Plate. I do like chimichurri as a dish, as a side accompaniment to my steak.
I bet you're one of the middle-class wankers that does like World Cup theme nights during the World Cup. Ooh, we got some cheese because Switzerland are playing. Ooh, we're having grilled meat because Turkey are on. Absolute middle-class woke nonsense.
There's no need for that. Deborah and I are in the wine club. She's ordered a lovely bottle of Malbec for the occasion on Sunday night. I'm very much looking forward to it. There's no need to be disparaging about my wife's culinary choices, Stephen.
Well, I would like to announce that I will be watching the World Cup final from the Royal Oak Public House with landlord Terry and landlady June.
I was just about to ask you where you're watching it. I'll come and watch it with you if that's all right.
And I would like to cordially invite Bob the Bucket to join me for a pint of the creamiest bitter that would be on offer in Northern England. And if you're lucky, Bob, I might get us some English tapas, some nuts, some scratchings and some crisps, and we'll watch the World Cup final together, Bob, because I'll be honest with you, pal, I've absolutely missed you, mate. It's like having, not having a leg.
You know what, Steve? That's the sad thing for me. It's the fact that you've been there from start and you didn't quite get it finish. And that does break me a little bit, that you had a chance to get a final and Tuchel's let you down.
But life goes on. We're going to be all right. And let me finish by saying this, Paul. Del Boy wanted to be a millionaire all his life. And all my life, I've wanted to see England win a World Cup. But once Del Boy had got the £1 million, the chase was over. Sometimes the fun is in the believing and in the hope. So do you know what? We dust ourselves off. We go again. We put cream jacket on. We tuck them jeans into socks. And we march on to the Meadowhall Premier League. Come on!
Yes, boys.
Hey, I'll drink to that. Okay, a few days ago we did get together prior to the two semi-finals to discuss all things World Cup. Let's take a look. So, Steve, you've been to Niagara Falls, Canada, Boston, New York, Mexico City, Florida. You're now in Atlanta. What an adventure. What an adventure.
Lads, I've waited for podcasts to tell you this. During this World Cup, I thought I'd seen it all. Are you ready for this one? Talk about a twisted plot. I'm going to be straight with you. After we won in Miami, I fancied an extra day. I thought, why am I rushing up to Atlanta when I'm sat here on beach with a spicy mags,
We're
palm
what?
trees, spicy mags, spicy margarita,
You've changed, you.
with palm trees, beautiful women and beautiful men, I'll be honest. So I had a day extra in Miami. I flies from a place called Fort Lauderdale. Airport were like Doncaster. Straight in, straight out, straight to the bar. No hassle. Lads, I saved someone's life yesterday.
Shut up.
I saved someone's life via the Heimlich manoeuvre.
Bollocks. As
No,
if.
Paul, I promise you, and I promise Games Gone viewers and listeners, I promise you I won't lie about this. So I'm sat at this bar, got my first drink. I thought, planes in an hour, jobs are good. And I start potting.
Potting.
I was potting. Last next to me, then a nice couple. Next things, here's this commotion. Bloke's keeled over. Oh, he weren't making a noise.
You don't when
He's
you
choking.
choke.
No, Bob, he weren't making a noise.
No.
He's choking. He's gone purple. Wife's everyone, all this commotion. When I say it happened right fast, but also in slow motion.
What's he at?
Sushi. We're having sushi at a bar. Dangly bit of sushi has got stuck. So I've gone round and I'm thinking, in my head, I'm thinking, you've got to stand up to it here, Steve. This is your moment. Don't bottle it now.
I told you that first aid course I sent you on would come pay dividends.
I'll get on to that, Paul. Next thing, I've gone behind him. I thought, remember what happened? Remember your training course at Samson Electric?
Give him a good
I've
scene
gone
too.
behind him, jolted him from under ribs. Oh, he's
California
Done him
roll
again.
straight out at mush.
done it again. Next thing, his breathing had brought him back to life. Well, he
No
weren't
way.
dead, but he was about to die.
Wow.
It were mad. It were mad. We sits back down.
Fantastic.
He was embarrassed bloke. I patted him up back and says, call me, send down. Call me, send down. Wife's hyperventilating. Call me, send down. Next thing, I goes back and sits at bar. And I thought, I've just saved someone's life.
Incredible.
Fantastic.
It was insane. And they bought me my meal. I couldn't buy a meal. They went, we're treating you. Lee
Well,
from
should think
Alabama.
So. Thought he'd have slipped
And
you.
he
Did he
says
not
to
slip
me-
you a few quid?
No, didn't get a penny, but I didn't want that. I
Did
was
you order a
happy bloke
pudding?
alive.
You should have ordered
You
a
what now?
pudding.
No, because I didn't know that they were going to pay for it. I
Jam
honestly-
roly poly. Have a lot on
And when I
ice
went
cream.
to pay for Bill, he says, we've got that. Steve, I'll pray for you for the rest of my life. Unbelievable. Saved someone's life. So, that training course you sent me and Bob on, Paul, I promise you it worked. Saved someone's life.
Samson Electrics saves.
I've been thinking about this. I joke around with Bob and first aid course. If you're a grassroots football club in this country,
Yeah.
get everyone on first aid course. And
I
also, with some of the fat bastards we've got, and with MOT Mick and Dean watching, we need a defib. We need
Correct.
a defibrillator.
Correct.
And some of the stuff that they're getting up to at weekend, we definitely need a defib.
All right.
Unbelievable.
Well,
Honestly, I saved someone's life in Miami.
Should be so proud of yourself. I am, man. I'm proud of you.
Thanks,
I am
Bob.
actually, Steve. I am.
Thanks,
I am.
Paul.
Should be proud of you, Sen. Put me on course.
All right, normally this section is called The Week in Question, but during Steve's sojourn to North America, it is entitled The World Cup in Question. It's only one place to start, really, boys, and it's Gianni Infantino's hinting at the expansion of the World Cup to 64 teams prior to the 2030 event. What do we think, Bob? 64
Brilliant.
teams at the World Cup.
The more teams, the better. Get them in. Get them in.
I agree.
I've loved it. Cape Verde, all these little teams. Cape Verde, Ecuador, Scotland. They've all been allowed to have a game in World Cup. Absolutely fantastic.
Love to hear from a fellow modernist, a fellow progressive like yourself, Robert. Like that from you.
Cut these leagues out. That league bit, it's too boring. And third place, and you're third or fourth. Cut it out. All names in a bag. You get who you get. So it might be France, Brazil, first game.
No.
So be it.
Bob wants to turn World Cup into FA Cup.
Correct. What's up with FA
There's
Cup?
no one, Paul, there's no wonder Bob wants expanding. That's 16 more teams for him to support. He's been Ecuadorian, Cape Verdean.
Yeah.
And my favourite period at World Cup when Bob were Japanese for 36
Yes, I loved
hours.
it.
Japanese.
I'm not eating sushi, though.
That ain't turncoat. Yeah, I ain't turncoat, man.
What do you mean?
Listen, under Infantino's proposals, the 24 more games will mean that we get rid
Like I
of
said.
third-placed playoffs and it goes top two straight through to the knockout round, which I, personally, am usually in favour of. And I have to say here, Harry Maguire was the one who proposed this at first, if you remember.
Harry Maguire, what's he going to do with price of fish?
Marias, he got right face on because he don't get a game. Well, I got it wrong. Dan Burn is better than Harry Maguire.
I can't wait for 2030 World Cup or 2034 World Cup in Saudi Arabia when I'm getting up at 5:30 in the morning to watch Moldova v San Marino, which is being played in fucking desert.
Well,
No,
it
enough's enough.
It does draw into question what happens during the 2 years of qualifying now if they're going to expand the tournament so widely.
They'll keep qualifiers and we'll have to wait 2 years so Gibraltar can fucking qualify via the third place Nations League because they're at fifth seed and they scored 5 goals and conceded 1 and fucking they've got the alphabetically in front of fucking, I don't know, fucking Papua New Guinea. It's a disgrace, Paul. I'm not having it. Enough's enough.
Just to point out, G does become before P in the alphabet. I don't know if you're
Don't be
aware of
facetious.
that. But...
You know what I mean.
Well, one man who will be at the next World Cup is Jürgen Klopp, who has agreed a deal to replace Julian Nagelsmann as head coach at Germany. It means that heavy metal football will be making its way into the international arena, and it's highly likely that Klopp will now manage at the Euros in England. What do we think, Steve?
Blockbuster. If Jürgen Klopp managing Germany in an English European tournament is absolute blockbuster. I'm all for it, eh? Imagine England, Germany with Klopp managing Germans. Oh, ho, ho! Headlines right at the sends.
They're going to be a force to reckon with now, Germans, aren't they, now they've got him? He is a good manager. I like him.
Another new team for you to support, Bobby.
Yeah, I'll support
Get a Germany shirt.
Yeah.
I'll get a German shirt.
One story that did catch my eye this week and make me laugh was Roy Keane, who refuses to leave his long-standing feud with Erling Haaland's father, Alf-Inge Haaland. I don't know if you saw, but Alf-Inge Haaland had a lot to say about the aftermath of the Norway-England match, complaining about the ball in the spider cam, allegedly, and also effing and jeffing in the stands. Roy Keane was very scathing in his criticism of Alf-Inge Haaland and said that every time he sees the fella in the stand, Inge Haaland is having a drink and may well be drunk. And I just thought, you know what? Incredibly petty from Roy Keane. I like that he continues the feud. I think it's very funny. And reminds me a little bit of Bracknall and Marshall, of the Bucket and Spitty Pete.
I think they should both grow up, if I'm honest.
Now.
It was only a game of football. Forget about it.
You said this, but you're not willing to put... You said that, but you still got your thing with Spitty Pete.
You don't know what
Exactly.
Spitty Pete did. You don't know.
I'll tell you what, Bob. Go up to Nag's Head and make peace with Spitty Pete.
It'll never happen.
Bit bigger man, Bob. Bigger man.
You know,
Never,
I find
ever,
absolutely
ever
mind-boggling.
Go on.
At all 90s football, if you could have said in 90s, a 90s footballer will give birth to a global sporting icon.
Is his father
The
or his
last on your
mother?
list-
He didn't give birth to him.
Well, you know what I mean.
He had it off with his
You know what I
mum.
mean? I'm a modern man, Paul. Last person on the list would have been Alf-Inge Haaland.
Yeah, but there's no way of knowing, is there, when you're having a kiss and a cuddle, what's going to happen to your child? It's not, I mean...
What's next? Jeff Kenner having a fucking Olympic gold medalist cyclist. Unbelievable.
Stiginga Bjornaby father's an astrophysicist. Yeah,
Imagine. All goals possible.
Do you know what, lads? I've been thinking. What I really need to do on my return is treat our Nikki.
Absolutely.
And I'm open to suggestions. I think I need to really pull out the stops for that.
What you got in mind?
I'm thinking of booking Ritz out in London.
What?
Afternoon tea at Ritz. I'm going to treat our Nikki to a weekend in London. It's going to be beautiful. And we're going all out. And I'll use that day in lieu that you get everyone for Mexico game. That's been banked.
I think you'll be heading for divorce courts by then. My wife, my beloved wife, Deborah, was in Nicola's salon this week. And Nicola was quoted as saying, "He can fucking stay there. He's doing my bastard heading." Unquote.
Do not bring my relationship onto Games Gone. That's a private matter. Whatever's
Steve.
going on with me and our Nikki is me and our Nikki's business.
Well, look,
All right?
I just want you to know, if the worst does come to the worst and she sticks to her guns and you do end up getting divorced, I don't think my place is the place that you could stay. I'll tell you for why. Not that I won't make me...
What, do you not think you could give up one of your 18 bedrooms, Paul? I'll tell you what, you and Deborah have A wing, I'll have B wing.
No, Stephen, listen to me now. I've thought about this long and hard. We do have a large residence, but it's on the wrong side of town. It's in the south side of Sheffield, in the leafy suburbs. As you say it often, are a north of Sheffield man. Now, Bob the Bucket, he's over at right side of town. He's got a spare room. He could put you up. He could move that lawnmower, put you in his garage. You and Bob.
Not sleeping at Bob's.
What do you
Why
mean?
not?
I'm going to come to
So
yours.
with my house.
I'm going to use... No offence, Bob, but he's got 18 bedrooms, jacuzzi, job lot. I think there's even a sauna in there. I'll use that. And don't worry about me. I can mince it about. I can mix it up with all them fucking snobs who go to Artisan Deli. No problem. Deborah just don't want me around and they don't want me at local pub because apparently I'm an embarrassment.
It's not that. We like to be naked sometimes in the back garden. And we like to be
You're
naked.
naturist.
No, we just sometimes like to be
You're
naked in the back garden.
naturist. PP and Deborah are naturist, Bob.
We don't like having...
Well, fuck it. I'll come and get my clothes off. I'll walk around with no on.
No, not appropriate.
Anyway, I'm not getting divorced. Never mind fucking delis, me cock and all the rest of it and sleeping at yours and you being a naturist. I'm not getting divorced. No, I'll tell you where I'll sleep. Me fucking bed.
No. I think Nicola is making moves to have you out, pal. You've been away a long time.
You're
I think her head's been...
Cruel.
No, not... Listen, you'll be happy at Bob's, and if not, you can always stay with Tommy and Chippy Clay.
Football's coming home. So is Bracknall. And so is some fucking love. There'll be plenty of love in Bracknall Cottage when I get back. Don't you worry. I'll buy her a Yankee candle.
There is also going to be plenty of love in the Royal Oak, where landlord Terry and his lovely wife June have agreed to put on a free buffet and projector should England get
buffet?
The World Cup final. Free buffet and a projector.
You want me advice?
Go on.
Don't go near it with a fucking barge pole. If he's putting Buffy on for free, that's all out-of-date stuff. I know what he's like. Don't touch don't touch it.
I think
You'll end up with what I had in Mexico.
No, I won't touch that. Big screen, tempting.
I'm going to make a statement.
Go on then.
Make a statement, Steve.
As man of the people, I'll look after the local community. My whole ethos is about that. If I'm going to buy Royal Oak a big screen, a big projector.
He's got one. He's got one off MOT Mick.
This shy, dodgy, it's off MOT Mick. I'm going to buy him a proper one from a proper high street retailer. No expense.
Parksey?
Do you know what I'm like? Pablo Escobar.
Oh, really?
No, I mean, Escobar, for all his controversy.
You're going down a
communities.
cul-de-sac here, Steve.
Steve Bracknall is the new Escobar.
Listen, you're going to buy a cheap one off Parksey. Who, by the way, in other news, has gone missing.
Where is he?
Well,
Where is
Shall I
he?
tell you what I've heard?
listen to this.
Got locked
Tell
up.
him, Bob.
Locked up.
No.
Selling dodgy stuff. They've captured him, haven't they?
I've told him time and time again, one day, Parksey, you'll sell one too many Burberry caps and they'll catch up with you.
Trading standards,
He's always doing
please.
it. He doesn't hide it. He gets boot up at Royal Oak car park. I bet he's made an absolute killing this World Cup.
Well, he's made himself very unpopular with the long arm of the law by the sound of things. Now, Another man who's made himself unpopular at the Royal Oak is Stephen Bracknall, whose name is Mud with Terry and MOT Mick. Very, very, very unhappy that you're still in the Royal Oak sweepstake.
Ain't in the sweepstake.
Tell them to, Mick and Terry. They were corrupt ones before. I fought corruption with corruption. I'm not having it. In fact,
text.
Bollocks to big screen. He don't deserve it. I'm going to have words with Terry. I've never fell out with Terry, me, over 25 years, but last few weeks, he's starting to niggle me while I'm out.
Well, he WhatsApped me, and I did ask him about this, and his reply was, he's a cheating bald bastard. Just saying.
You are right shit stirrer on this episode. Proper shit stirrer.
Listen, there's lots of people who are upset. Another one who was upset this week at the Royal Oak is Firestick Dean. His business is down considerably.
Oh, it will be. Terrestrial. Everything's on terrestrial. I said that to my mate. I says, I've got a kid, Firestick Dean. I said, he'll be absolutely struggling. Everything's on terrestrial. He's took bottom out of business.
That's how it should be. That's how it should be. Get rid of Sky, get rid of Netflix, get rid of Amazon, get rid of lot. Get it on BBC,
He'll be absolutely
ITV.
crawling and desperate for Premier League to start because that's where he makes his money. And there's no big films coming out, so that's not pulling out in.
Refuses to wear an England kit.
He's got Irish descent, hasn't he? He'll be in a bad way, Dean. No subscriptions, and I can't sing gossip.
He says, I've had no subscriptions. Fuck England, I'm an Irishman. That's what he said to us.
I'm gonna ring him up and
Odyssey.
wind him
That's
up.
a big film that's coming out. Odyssey.
What?
Have you seen it? Odyssey.
What?
Big film that's coming out. He'll be all right.
Fucking Barry Norman here.
Nice one, Steve. Let's move on to your favourite section. Questions from the audience. Question 1.
Right, lads, quick question for you. If you had to support another team for the rest of your life, not England, another team, who would you support and why?
I think as a snappy dresser, a man of style, sartorial elegance, I think I could be Italian. Mate. Like I'd like to see them back in World Cup. I could see it.
If you were a lollipop, he'd fucking lick himself.
La sprezzatura.
I don't know about supporting, but do you know what I would like?
Go on.
I'd like the Germans to return to their former glories because I miss that old school rivalry. I miss that England-Germany rivalry.
Okay, what about you, Robert?
Brazil. Brazil. Until they get knocked out, then I'll think of somebody else.
All right, let's move on to question 2.
Steve, Paul and Bob, just a quick question. Who is your World Cup lookalike? Cheers, Tom.
I know mine.
Go on then.
In Miami Stadium against Norway, their gaffer reminded me of me son. He come up on big screen and I kept going, fucking hell, is that? You know when they go on big screen and they go, every time fucking Norway's manager were on big screen, I was going like this. Oh no, it's not me. It's fucking him.
Get
I think I
away.
look like him.
Get
Honestly,
away.
it's pissing it down here, you know. Storming coming.
Some people have said I bear a passing resemblance to Mohamed Chouabi, the Morocco manager.
No, I'll tell you who you're dead ringer for, Paul.
Go on.
Ange Postecoglou. You've had it
Correct.
easy this tournament. You've been
Correct.
sat on Brooklyn Bridge with Keane and that all-expensive spade, working for our rivals, ITV. Lads, I'm working for this one. I'm way through.
I've lost 2 stone. I think accusations
Have
that I've
Well
lost
done.
2 stone. I think accusations that I look like Big Ange are unfounded. I think I'm more resembling the Swiss manager.
Swiss manager.
Oh yeah, stylish.
Lads, can I just say, to interrupt you, don't ever say I don't work hard for it, game's gone. I'm in middle or an Atlanta Storm answering these questions. Look at that,
stop
sticking to me.
whinging. Stop
Jackie's sticking to
whinging.
me. It's like being in fucking Barnsley.
Let's move on. Question 3.
All right, lads, loving the podcast. What would you sacrifice for England to win a World Cup? Cheers, Luke.
If the situation between me and our Nikki is severe as Paul makes out, then I may as well cut my ties now. I'll sacrifice my missus. England haven't won it in 60 years. I can find another wife. I'll sacrifice our Nikki.
Wow.
She'll understand.
Wow.
England winning World Cup. No one's ever
Can't
experienced
believe
it.
you've said that. I cannot believe you've said that.
Well,
Listen.
according to you, it's all over.
She's a beautiful woman. She's got her own business. She's not without financial means. She'll bounce back, Steve. I think you're making a big mistake here.
Can I have your
England's got
strimmer?
eyes for one man. Oh, fuck off, Bob. You're an honourable man.
Go on, Bob.
What?
What are you sacrificing?
Me sleep.
You what?
I've been sacrificing my sleep. I've been getting up at knock of dawn.
I think you got a bit of rain or some shit on your head, pal.
I'm here in Atlanta. It's absolutely pissing down. But I'm not like Steve McLaren. I'm not some Wally in a brolly. Rain on me. The least you can do is subscribe to the podcast. Look what I'm doing to deliver it. Football's coming home. You're going to subscribe. And everyone's a winner, baby. Steve.
Thanks, Steve. Appreciate that. Looks like you have dried off. We're now back. Please do keep sending us your World Cup themed voice notes and messages. You can email us on steve@bbc.co.uk. WhatsApp us on 0800 783 1997. Thank you for watching this special World Cup edition of Games Gone, the Steve Bracknall podcast. Do listen on BBC Sounds, watch on YouTube. This is the penultimate episode of our World Cup run, so do join us for all the reaction after the World Cup final next week. You can also check us out on iPlayer. All right, boys, listen, Steve, all seriousness now. Get home in one piece, please.
Yeah.
We've got a important league campaign starting soon. We need you in one piece.
Just want to thank you to you, Paul, Bob, for making time for Games Gone at podcast and all listeners and viewers during this campaign. Don't ever forget, all of you, I love you to bits, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Steve.
Steve, can I ask you a favour?
Depends what it is.
Will you buy me a model at plane on your way home?
Of course I will. Of course you like all that nonsense, don't you? I'll buy
Especially
you a nice
Lego.
little...
To do a Lego version.
I'll buy you a little treat in airport, mate. No problem.
Love that. Thanks, pal.
And then, after, you can take some time to grow up.
Games Gone, the Steve Bracknall podcast, is a Persophonica production for BBC Sounds. Remember to like, comment and subscribe.